Capricorn and Gemini are two zodiac signs that seem to live in completely different worlds, yet somehow their paths cross again and again. At first glance, this pairing appears mismatched to anyone who only understands astrology on the surface level. But the deeper you look, the more you begin to realize that opposites don't just attract, they transform each other. So today we're diving into the complex, unpredictable, and surprisingly magnetic compatibility between Capricorn and Gemini. And if you're a Capricorn or a Gemini watching this right now, pause for a moment and drop your sign in the comments. Let me know who you're connecting with. And don't click away, because what you're about to hear will change the way you look at this connection forever. Before we dive deep, if you find this video informative, make sure to subscribe my channel and hit the like button so you never miss more Capricorn insights. Now, the truth is, when Capricorn and Gemini come together, the universe doesn't create an easy match. Instead, it creates a checkpoint, a moment where both signs must decide what they want, what they'll compromise on, and what they're willing to learn about each other. Capricorn comes into this connection with a seriousness, a steady presence, and a long-term mindset that Gemini can't ignore. Gemini, on the other hand, brings light, curiosity, and spontaneity that Capricorn never knew they needed, and that contrast becomes the spark that draws them in. Capricorn is often intrigued by Gemini's bright, talkative nature, and Gemini is fascinated by Capricorn's quiet confidence and emotional strength. But this attraction also comes with challenges. The earth sign and the air sign live in different rhythms, one grounded, one drifting. Yet their differences create a unique blend of balance and growth. Capricorn, influenced by Saturn, carries a strong sense of responsibility, structure, and ambition. They are planners by nature, disciplined souls who believe in putting effort into everything they touch. They value loyalty, consistency, and honesty. Their emotional world is deep but guarded, which makes them appear serious and sometimes distant. Gemini, ruled by Mercury, is quick-thinking, adaptable, and effortlessly expressive. They thrive on communication, mental stimulation, and new experiences. They love change and variety, which sometimes makes them appear unpredictable or inconsistent. And when these two energies collide, the result is a dynamic that challenges both partners to grow in ways they never expected. In the early stages of their connection, Capricorn might feel confused by Gemini's constantly shifting moods, their playful humor, their sudden bursts of ideas, and their ability to change plans at the last minute. Gemini, meanwhile, may feel overwhelmed by Capricorn's slow pace, seriousness, and cautious approach. But beneath these differences lies a hidden attraction. Gemini sees in Capricorn a kind of grounding they've never experienced before. Capricorn sees in Gemini a type of emotional freedom they secretly crave. And as they get to know each other, both signs begin to understand that their differences are not flaws. They are complementary energies waiting to merge. There's a joke that perfectly captures this match. Capricorn plans the whole month. Gemini changes the plan 3 times before lunch. And while this joke makes people laugh, it also reveals something deeper. The contrast between Capricorn's structure and Gemini's spontaneity is not a sign of incompatibility, but an invitation for both signs to evolve. Capricorn learns to loosen up, enjoy life's unpredictable moments, and embrace fun without guilt. Gemini learns to slow down, commit, and take responsibility for their choices. In this process, both sides unlock versions of themselves they didn't know existed. Emotionally, Capricorn and Gemini travel at different speeds, but not in ways that make the connection impossible. Capricorn needs time to trust. They don't fall quickly, but when they do, they fall deeply and with loyalty. Gemini, meanwhile, expresses feelings easily but may hesitate to commit fully until they feel understood and mentally connected. Over time, Gemini notices something special. Capricorn is the kind of person who doesn't walk away. They stay, they support, they protect. Capricorn learns something just as valuable. Gemini may seem scattered at times, but they are emotionally honest and communicatively loyal. They don't hide their feelings, they speak them. And when Gemini starts sharing their inner world openly, Capricorn begins to let down their walls. One of the strongest areas of compatibility between these two signs is communication. Gemini thrives on conversation, humor, storytelling, and exploration of ideas. Capricorn might seem quiet at first, but once they trust Gemini, they open up in profound ways. The conversations between them become long, meaningful, and transformative. Gemini teaches Capricorn how to voice their emotions rather than holding them in. Capricorn teaches Gemini the difference between talking for fun and speaking with purpose. Together, they create a flow of communication that can become one of the strongest bonds in their relationship. Trust is another major theme in their connection. Capricorn wants loyalty, emotional consistency, and transparency. Gemini wants freedom, mental space, and the feeling of not being controlled. This can create tension, but it also creates growth. When Gemini chooses to be transparent about their thoughts, their plans, and their intentions, Capricorn feels secure. When Capricorn chooses to allow Gemini independence without suspicion, Gemini feels respected. This creates a bond built on mutual understanding rather than force. And here's an astrology fact that makes this connection even more interesting. Studies in astrology communities show that air-earth couples last significantly longer when they consciously adapt their communication styles to each other. And Capricorn and Gemini are one of the pairs where this adaptation becomes a natural part of their emotional evolution. When it comes to romantic and physical chemistry, Capricorn and Gemini create a dynamic that's both intriguing and unexpected. Capricorn brings depth, emotional grounding, and intentionality. Gemini brings playfulness, variety, and creativity. Their physical connection may not spark instantly, but it grows as they build emotional trust. Over time, this chemistry becomes one of the strongest aspects of their relationship because both partners begin to express sides of themselves they usually keep hidden. Capricorn becomes more affectionate and emotionally expressive. Gemini becomes more focused, present, and emotionally invested. Their intimacy isn't just physical, it's mental, emotional, and spiritual. Now, when it comes to long-term compatibility, Capricorn and Gemini require effort, but not in a draining way. Think of it like this. Capricorn provides the foundation. Gemini provides the movement. Together, they create a structure that is both stable and alive. If Capricorn loosens their grip on control, and Gemini becomes more consistent with communication and commitment, this pairing can truly thrive. It's not about forcing each other to change. It's about learning from each other. Capricorn teaches Gemini the beauty of patience, planning, and building something meaningful. Gemini teaches Capricorn the importance of adaptability, joy, and letting life flow. And those lessons become the glue that keeps the connection strong. If you were to break this compatibility down into categories, it would look something like this. Emotionally, they match moderately well with room for growth. Communication-wise, they are highly compatible because Gemini brings expression and Capricorn brings depth. Practically, they may struggle at times, but nothing that effort and understanding can't fix. In the long term, their compatibility depends on compromise, but when both signs are committed, this relationship becomes powerful. Overall, this connection scores around a 7 out of 10, not because of weakness, but because it requires conscious balance. And if both partners can create that balance, this connection becomes unforgettable. For Capricorn specifically, the key to making this connection work is embracing spontaneity. Let yourself enjoy the unpredictable moments Gemini brings into your life. Don't shut down emotionally when things feel different from your usual rhythm. Allow yourself to trust the process, to laugh more, to relax more, and to communicate openly. Gemini isn't here to disrupt your structure. They're here to remind you that stability and joy can coexist. And for Gemini, the advice is simple but powerful. Be consistent. Let Capricorn see your loyalty through your actions, not just your words. Don't play mind games or disappear when things get serious. Capricorn doesn't fear love, they fear inconsistency. When you show up honestly and regularly, Capricorn opens their heart in ways that surprise even them. This is when the connection deepens into something long-lasting. In the end, the compatibility of Capricorn and Gemini isn't defined by how alike they are, because in truth, they are not alike at all. It's not defined by whether they move at the same speed, share the same habits, or express their emotions the same way. Instead, this connection is shaped entirely by how they complement one another, how the presence of one fills the gaps of the other, how their strengths illuminate each other's blind spots, and how their differences become a map toward mutual evolution rather than a reason to walk away. Capricorn and Gemini are like two languages spoken in different rhythms, but somehow when spoken together, they create a poetry neither could express alone. Where one is grounded and one is free, a natural harmony is born. Where one is structured and one is flexible, a beautiful balance forms. And even though this harmony doesn't reveal itself immediately, it appears gradually, like the soft light of sunrise creeping over the mountains, unhurried, unforced, but undeniably real. Capricorn brings the energy of Earth, steady, dependable, practical, and deeply anchored in the physical world. They know how to build, plan, organize, and maintain. They understand responsibility intuitively, and they value long-term stability in every part of life, including love. Gemini, on the other hand, represents air, light, quick, spontaneous, curious, and mentally alive. They bring movement, fresh ideas, new perspectives, and the gift of communication. They don't hold still, not because they're unreliable, but because their mind is always reaching out for new experiences, new knowledge, and new horizons. When these two forces meet, it creates a dynamic that challenges the definitions of compatibility we're used to. Because compatibility isn't always about similarity. Sometimes it's about two energies teaching each other what life looks like from the other side. This is why Capricorn and Gemini are considered a transformative match. Because their connection doesn't simply exist, it evolves. It stretches, bends, tests, and redefines itself over time. Capricorn learns that life doesn't always need strict control to feel safe. Gemini learns that commitment doesn't have to feel like confinement. Capricorn softens their edges, while Gemini strengthens their roots. And somewhere in between structure and spontaneity, a new form of balance emerges, one that belongs uniquely to them. Where one is grounded and one is free, a natural harmony is born. Capricorn stabilizes Gemini's restlessness, giving them a space to return to when their thoughts scatter across too many possibilities. Gemini lifts Capricorn out of their heaviness, reminding them that joy, laughter, and playfulness are not distractions but necessary parts of the human experience. Capricorn teaches Gemini the value of depth, how to explore one thing fully instead of skimming across everything quickly. Gemini teaches Capricorn the beauty of movement, how change is not the enemy of stability, but the fuel for growth. This is a relationship where both signs hold a medicine the other didn't know they needed. Capricorn's medicine is patience, loyalty, focus, and maturity. It shows Gemini how to anchor their creativity into meaningful outcomes. Gemini's medicine is curiosity, lightness, adaptability, and open communication. It shows Capricorn how to release pressure and reconnect with their inner child. Together, they become not just partners, but mirrors, reflecting back to each other the parts they've neglected within themselves. This is why not every couple is meant to be easy. Some couples are meant to be instructive, revealing, awakening. Some relationships come into our lives to test us, not because the universe wants us to suffer, but because the universe wants us to grow into stronger, wiser versions of ourselves. And Capricorn and Gemini fall into that category. Their differences don't divide them, they shape them. Their challenges aren't barriers, they are lessons. And when both partners remain open to learning, this relationship becomes a path toward expansion, individually and together. Capricorn, with their seriousness and emotional caution, often finds themselves softened by Gemini's unpredictable joy. They begin to laugh more, speak more freely, and feel the weight of the world lift from their shoulders. Gemini's ability to turn life into an adventure reminds Capricorn that living isn't just surviving, it's experiencing. Meanwhile, Gemini discovers a sense of grounding they rarely find with others. Capricorn's stability provides Gemini with a safe emotional home, a constant presence that helps them feel anchored rather than scattered. This kind of grounding is something Gemini secretly desires, even if they don't always express it in words. The Earth teaches the air how to root. Capricorn teaches Gemini how to commit, not through fear or pressure, but through value. Gemini learns that commitment isn't the end of freedom. It's the beginning of a deeper, richer experience. That consistency doesn't cage them, it supports them. That stability doesn't suffocate them, it protects them. Capricorn becomes the lighthouse in Gemini's shifting tides, and the air teaches the Earth how to rise. Gemini shows Capricorn that life doesn't always have to be planned to perfection, that small spontaneous choices can bring massive joy, that trying something new won't cause their world to collapse. Gemini helps Capricorn break free from the mental cages created by duty and expectation. They lift Capricorn from the heaviness of overthinking and show them how to breathe again, mindfully, freely, fully. The deeper truth of Capricorn and Gemini compatibility is this: one partner teaches life, the other teaches living. Capricorn teaches Gemini how to build a foundation strong enough to support their brilliant ideas. Gemini teaches Capricorn how to let go of fear long enough to enjoy the life they work so hard to secure. Capricorn teaches Gemini that some things are worth the effort. Gemini teaches Capricorn that effort without joy is just survival. And together they discover a middle path, the path where responsibility meets adventure, where discipline meets imagination, where planning meets creativity. Most people misunderstand this pairing because they judge it based on the surface level, the seriousness of Capricorn versus the playfulness of Gemini. But compatibility isn't determined by personalities alone. It's shaped by needs, wounds, growth patterns, and emotional evolution. Capricorn and Gemini activate parts of each other that few other signs can reach. Capricorn gives Gemini a relationship that feels like a home. Gemini gives Capricorn a relationship that feels alive. When they connect deeply, this bond becomes unforgettable. Still, their journey is not without friction. Capricorn might feel frustrated by Gemini's inconsistency. Gemini might feel restricted by Capricorn's seriousness, but these challenges don't exist to break them. They exist to teach them balance. Capricorn learns not to grip so tightly. Gemini learns not to drift so far. And when both meet in the middle, they create a relationship that balances responsibility with spontaneity, stability with excitement, silence with laughter. In long-term partnerships, Capricorn helps Gemini become someone they can finally recognize in the mirror. More grounded, more responsible, more connected to themselves. Gemini helps Capricorn become someone they secretly wanted to be, more expressive, more flexible, more willing to take risks. And the beauty of this transformation is that neither sign loses their identity. They expand it. This is the kind of compatibility that grows over time. It doesn't rush, it doesn't explode, it doesn't burn fast and fade. Instead, it develops slowly, naturally, step by step, as both signs learn to see the world through each other's eyes. Capricorn begins to view life with curiosity. Gemini begins to view life with intention. Capricorn gives Gemini calm. Gemini gives Capricorn movement. And together, calm and movement create harmony. This relationship becomes a journey of understanding, where both signs uncover the deeper layers of what connection truly means. Capricorn learns that vulnerability is not weakness, and Gemini learns that stability is not limitation. Capricorn learns to soften, and Gemini learns to stay. Capricorn learns to express emotions more openly, and Gemini learns to listen more deeply. These lessons change them, not just as lovers, but as human beings. Over time, this compatibility evolves into a rhythm, a unique dance where each partner understands the other's steps. Gemini learns when Capricorn needs quiet. Capricorn learns when Gemini needs freedom. Gemini learns how to reassure Capricorn's insecurities. Capricorn learns how to inspire Gemini's passions. And in this dance, the relationship becomes more than a pairing. It becomes a partnership, a collaboration, a union that blends Earth's patience with air's imagination. This is why Capricorn and Gemini can create love stories that are unconventional but incredibly powerful. They remind us that compatibility isn't perfection, it's adaptation. It's choosing each other even when it feels difficult. It's holding on because the connection is worth it. Capricorn learns to embrace imperfection, and Gemini learns to embrace commitment. And somewhere in the middle, their love becomes something balanced, something surprising, something extraordinary. In the end, Capricorn and Gemini compatibility is a testament to the beauty of differences. It proves that love isn't about finding your mirror, it's about finding your complement. Capricorn doesn't need another Capricorn. Gemini doesn't need another Gemini. They need each other because each brings what the other lacks. Capricorn brings depth. Gemini brings breadth. Capricorn brings structure. Gemini brings inspiration. Capricorn brings certainty. Gemini brings possibility. And when certainty and possibility fall in love, worlds change. Their love teaches Earth to rise without losing stability, and air to root without losing freedom. And that is why, even though Capricorn and Gemini may seem mismatched to the world, they often become one of the most transformative pairings of the zodiac. So if you're a Capricorn or a Gemini navigating this connection, remember this: compatibility isn't written in the stars alone. It's created through understanding, patience, and emotional presence. And this pairing, when nurtured, becomes one of the most dynamic and unexpectedly beautiful relationships in the zodiac. Now, tell me in the comments, are you a Capricorn, a Gemini, or part of this pairing? I want to know your story. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more zodiac insights, and stay tuned for more powerful astrology connections.